Actually, the last time I saw David was at this table, and interviewed David and Russell Moore that day. And when that episode came out, we heard from more than one listener who responded, and they expressed appreciation for the interview. But they said, at least two people said to me, we wish that David and Russell had shown more introspection with regard to examining perhaps the ways they had contributed to the problem as it developed. So I'm not asking you to respond for them, but what would you do with that kind of feedback from somebody yourself?
Oh, I confess. I was the problem. I contributed to the problem. I exacerbated the problem. I enjoyed the problem. I made the problem worse, and I loved it. I got paid for it. So I am confessing it. I was a person, I would sit at Fox News Studios. I would be off camera. My clients would be on screen, and I would think, oh, there's a better way to say that could really own the libs. You could stick the knife in and twist it if you use this word. Because my spiritual gift, not listed in 1 Corinthians, is acrimony and sarcasm. And I use that so well. And I would help people make America drink liberal tears. And then I realized, and I love my clients. I love I love all of my clients. But to give listeners an example of what we're talking about, I lived with Sarah Palin in her house. I did 3 Palin books. I worked for Republican governors, senators, organizations, pundits, anybody who was Fox News famous. I was their person. Because I just had a lot of fun. Because my whole life, I had been prepared for this moment. I knew Rush Limbaugh. I knew how to do all this. And then when Donald Trump came down the escalator, I was like, wait a minute. I thought we were sort of kidding. Because when Ronald Reagan was criticizing Tip O'Neill for being shaped like Pac-Man and gobbling up money, taxpayer money, he said it with a wink. And Tip O'Neill was the first person at his bedside after he was shot, after that assassination attempt. And he knelt and said the 23rd Psalm with Ronald Reagan. Like they didn't actually hate each other. I thought that's what we were doing. I thought it was like, wink, wink, politics ain't beanbag. This is fun. This is the way we talk. But there is a damage that can be done when you think, well, I'm going to operate and demonstrate the fruit of the Spirit, except in this realm. Mm-hmm. Like you see business people do that, except financially. I'm going to make sure I do exactly what I want to make as much money as I humanly can. You see that in, terrible conditions for workers and stuff like that. Well, you can do that with politics too. And that's what I did. I was like, I'm a good moral person, but oh my gosh, wouldn't it be fun to, ameliorate the goodness that people think towards Democrats who are doing good things? Why don't we just lessen that a bit and say, yeah, but aren't they nuts in the following ways?